How's it everyone? My name is Jake and welcome to this week's video. 2025 is here, Foam & Fortune 2 has passed, and now it's time to talk about it. For those of you who don't know, Foam & Fortune is what I call the local events that I run at a park here in Palmdale, California, and aptly named Foam & Fortune 2. This was the second one we ever had, the first being back last year in either March or May, I'm forgetting the exact date. But we had actually planned to run Foam & Fortune 2 a lot sooner, but because of the holidays and moving into a whole new apartment, we simply couldn't afford to do that. It wasn't financially responsible, or really even plausible. Plus, with everyone else experiencing the holiday season, I expected not many people to show up or show any real interest. So we moved it to January 11th, and from the announcement date, we had exactly 2 months of prep time leading to the event. Leading up to the event, I had to make entirely new PVC cover frames. It was a lot of time and money the first time around to have to make these pieces of cover, and you would think I wouldn't have to spend all the money and make new ones the second time, but you see, when we moved, we left everything behind, at least the PVC frames, we left those behind simply because, and I'll make this as brief as I can, the homeowner was an asshole, and I didn't want to bother going back to grab anything. I would rather have just eat the cost and make new ones, which I did. Now, it wasn't too expensive. I do still have the legs, and I do still have the tarps that go inside the frame, so the frame itself is all that had to be cut and built. However, I only had the elbows that go into that frame, the PVC elbow joints. I only had those. I had accidentally left the T's with Lorenzo at the first event, and he didn't have time to ship those to me, so he had to buy whole new ones on Amazon and have those shipped to me. It was kind of funny. Literally the day right before the event, they showed up on my doorstep, and I was a little panicked that I have to buy my own. But nevertheless, I always appreciate the help that Uncle Lorenzo provides us. And the last thing to cover is that for this event, we provided melee and shields, as well as rival and mega. So I acquired some melee weapons, I built a shield, and I invested into some bulk, mega, and rival ammo you can see back there. Now, I was the only person to use a melee weapon. I never got to use my shield loadout that I talked about before, and we had intended to have a rival only round. We never had a rival round. Now those three things will make a lot more sense in a little bit, but now let's get into the day of the event. So originally we had an estimated turnout of 14 to 15, which is double what we did the first time around, but we only had 5 including James's daughter. James, you may not remember, is our latest recruit who actually got a promotion at this event and is now a private first class. And Uncle Lorenzo actually got a promotion as well. He is now Sergeant Lorenzo. But yeah, it wasn't exactly the turnout we had anticipated. On top of that, we only had 2 participants RSVP, one of which actually couldn't make it due to the state that the San Gabriel Valley was in at the time. And I'd also like to take the time to speak on it myself. I personally have not done a very good job of keeping up with the fires that are currently affecting California, but I know that it is damaging a lot of homes. It's putting a lot of people in danger. My brother even had to be evacuated from his assisted living home, and it's just a rough time for a lot of people in that area. And it's hopefully getting better. I haven't kept very good track of it, but I don't hold it against Brian at all for choosing to stay close to his family. There will be another Foam & Fortune. There will be plenty more events they can come to, so he definitely made the right choice. I don't hold that against them at all. I'm usually not one to speak on big events like this, but just I want to give a thank you to the firefighters that are currently trying to protect these people and that are risking their lives for us. And I also just hope that anyone that is anywhere close to this or that has been evacuated, I hope you're all safe. And I just hope that this gets dealt with very quickly, because this is affecting a lot of people, and it's a very scary situation for a lot of people as well. So can you tell I'm having a hard time talking about it? But now, to get back on topic, though we did only have 2 people RSVP, I still knew most people who were most likely going to show up, since they're close friends of Bianca and I. But they're more casual, so I can understand why they wouldn't show up. I won't lie, I was a little bummed about our small turnout, but, you know, with just a few of us, we still had plenty of fun. It was a great day. And life happens. There's nothing you can really do about that. So, you know, hopefully they come next time, and either way, we're gonna have fun, because that's just how it goes. But now, speaking of casual, 2 of Brian's friends actually were able to make an appearance. Couldn't stay long because they had family to visit, but we do appreciate them coming, and we hope to see them again in the future. And now, at this event, we did have less time to play due to limited sunlight. And all the excitement of announcing this event and, you know, preparing to run it, I actually forgot to take into account sunlight and the actual time that we'd be starting and ending. So, like last time, we had wanted to end at 6, but the sun was going down by 4, and by 5 it was near pitch black. So yeah, I didn't think that went through. So we did end up having to end the event at 4. We did have a faster setup time though, since we were able to get there earlier. Bianca drove us there, she learned how to drive, so that was very convenient, very helpful. And before I forget, since I have them right here, James, his daughter actually made these for us, these little team coordinated, color coordinated bracelets. I don't know what the actual word to call these would be, but it was so cute. She came up, gave these to us. They are really pretty. And yeah, so now on top of the bandanas, we also have these wristbands that we can give out. And then there was the wind. The fucking wind. Just like last time, the wind thoroughly kicked our asses. The wind was actually worse this time. It blew so hard, it actually snapped one of the legs of our frame covers. Cover was getting knocked down so often that at a certain point, we just stopped putting them back up. So progressively, cover just started to disappear, and it made for more open combat, so it actually was kind of cool. Now into the games we played. We managed to play 5. We did 2 clickers, 2 awfuls, and 1 5-minute round of Wild West. So for the first round, I decided to run a shield loadout, although instead of a shield, I wanted to try using the melee. So I had my Hera, a sword, and all my rival mags on me. In response to me deciding to run a sword, James grabbed a Magnus with Mega darts, and yeah, that made it very difficult. It was funny, I wanted to make sure that the rules on melee and shields were clear, so I told him that I could only get tagged by a Mega Dart. So it goes to grab his Magnus, and I ask him, how are you going to carry that on you? And he just tucks it behind himself in a little dump pouch, and then crosses his arms. And it's just, he's prepared for everything. I really have a lot of respect for how serious he takes these games. And the way he put it is, you know, it's not cheap. You know, it's not free. So he puts a lot of time, a lot of money into running his gear and his blasters, and I just have a lot of respect for it. For this round, Bianca was on my team. She was actually on my team for the entire day. I guess we just didn't decide to swap teams. But she was on my team, and we got creamed. We were immediately outgunned for 2 reasons. One, I was using a rival blaster in high-speed winds, and similar to last time, Bianca's mags were lightly shitted. I was using the 18-round mags that I have, and I had meant to reload the followers, but I just haven't had the time to, so the mags she was using were unintentionally sabotaged. Something else I hadn't taken into account is that with melee, you have to run. I can't run very fast. James can run forever. I got close once, but quickly took a mega shot to the chest. During the second round, I decided to put down my melee weapon and stick to just the Hera, give the second chance. That was a big mistake. James's dad actually decided to join us this time, and I got pieced up by him real good with the modded Maxim Pro. Now keep in mind, I was wearing eye pro, but I did take a shot to the eye, and I also got a shot to the cheek, and another right to my earlobe. Not the ear, the earlobe. It was at that moment I had to question my honor because I thought for a moment to not call the tag, but I did because I just didn't want to be that guy. Also, at some point, James pinged Bianca right in the teeth. I don't know if it was intentional, but the marksmanship is insane. Another interesting segment of the round, at some point James's dad decided to just switch teams, and James was not made aware of that. I, the host, was not made aware of this. But yeah, when James found out, he decided to just mag dump his pops with a full auto Nightingale. I don't think his dad was super aware of our rules. At one point he thought a headshot didn't count, but I could tell he had a lot of fun and he had the spirit. So if he joins us next time on the field, I'll brush him up on some of our rules and standards, and we'll see how that goes the next time around. Then we got to our awful rounds, and I decided this time to avenge my deploy, because if you remember last time, my deploy impaled a dart, and I just could not have that. I didn't keep track of how many tags I got with it, but for the first few moments, it ran like a dream. I was using my 6-round mags, I loaded them with nitro shot darts, it was great. Until suddenly it wasn't. An awfuls round, and I'm looking into my deploy. I've never noticed how dirty this thing is. On top of that, if I can show this with one hand, you can see the dart in there. It doesn't want to go forward, so I gotta fix that now. What's going on over here? What? Needless to say, I'll be doing a video very soon giving that blaster some well-needed maintenance and cleaning. I should also mention that attached to that deploy was a chrono barrel. Looks something like that. James had actually gifted this to me along with a snub nose for the Mark III and some spacers for the Desperado. But now along with my dirt ploy, I also had a Desperado as my sidearm, and the best jolt of all time, the Nanner Jolts, the Peely Jolts, as my last resort. There you go. For all those, Bianca ran a stock Moto Blitz with a couple 18-round drums, and for some reason, it kept locking up. The way she described her experience to me was that it would rev, but then she would pull the trigger, and it would just lock up entirely. It wouldn't push a dart into the flywheels. It just stopped working. But then we got home, and I ran an entire drum through it just fine. So someone help us, please. Tell us what happened, because we just have no idea. There was no jam. I guess maybe it was the cold? Maybe it just froze up? I don't know. I really don't know. There also was a moment where Bianca handed me her Moto Blitz, and I had a clear shot of James, right? 10 feet away, right? And the master key on the Moto Blitz is pumped up. So I press the button, fire all 6 or 7 darts, whatever many it is, right at him, and they all miss. And I was just so disappointed in myself. I let him tag me, and that was probably the most humiliating part of the day. And then probably my favorite game of the day, the last game we played, was Wild West, which is basically just clickers with your standard 150 FPS cap, but you were only allowed to use pistols. And the reason this game was my favorite and why I wish we could have done more of them is because of the 5-minute time limit that I had enforced for it. It made things more intense, and it worked very well with the small amount of participants we had. So in the future, we'll definitely be incorporating more of these 5-minute rush type of games. For this round, I fielded the micro double shot for the first time, and it actually ran really, really good. I managed to get 3 tags, which in 5 minutes, going up against someone with a modded Venom Pro is just fine in my book. And it felt so badass, ejecting shells, throwing more in, closing it up, pulling that prime, lighting up my shot. It's so good. And now to end it off, we're going to get into the more serious part of the event, which is what was learned. So, just like last time, we learned even more that events are expensive. And this time we actually did calculate how much the event cost was. This time around, it was $160 to provide for this event. Now, that doesn't include water and snacks, but it is the cost of the new PVC frames, new flags as well, and the ammo. Now, if we had just gotten ammo, it would have been closer to around $60, but that's still not a small amount of money. And while I do enjoy running these free events, moving into 2025, we are going to be trying to run some paid events as well alongside the free ones, and maybe some paid aspects like entries for giveaways, or maybe even merch. And yes, we will be running more events. If I have not made that clear yet, there will be at least a few more events in 2025. And speaking of giveaways, I want you guys to tell me what to do with this. This is James's long shot that we had meant to give away at the event, but no one showed up to enter the giveaway. So, yeah, I just have this now. It wasn't going to go home with him because he doesn't like it. But it has the aluminum plunger tube. It works just fine. I did run like 5 rounds through it. I actually kind of like it. I might get my own. I know Bianca wants one for sure. So, yeah, let me know what I should do with this. If I should cannibalize it and do something with it, or if I should continue to give this away at the next event. Or maybe even give me offers. DM me on Instagram if you want to buy this off of me. I genuinely don't know what to do with it, so let me know in the comments what you think I should. Now, to help us run these events, you can always donate or become a member to our Ko-Fi. I don't like plugging it at the end of videos because, like I've said before, it kind of makes me feel weird, but it really would be a big help, especially since we don't have any members yet. Another thing I learned is that I really need to make a Discord for the Foam Battalion. It's the best way to help build the community in this hobby, and I have it on good account based on what I've heard in other servers, and from Captain Xavier himself, like 6 years ago, whenever he made that video. And lastly, though it's very obvious, you can have fun no matter how many people show up to an event. Like I said, I was bummed we didn't get to reach our, expected attendance, but after we loaded up and we hit that field, just that entire feeling went away completely. It was nice getting to shoot the breeze, chat about Nerf, fling some foam. I truly do love this hobby. It was a great, great time. I love this hobby. It's the biggest passion in my life, and I hope it stays that way for a long time. I can't wait to have even more fun this year. 2025 was a great year for the hobby, the best that it's had in a long time in my opinion, so let's hope to make 2025 even better, all work together to make it great year. I can't wait, I'm so excited. I got my own projects that I'm excited for, videos that are going to be coming soon. I'm going to try to maintain what I did last year with 1 video a month. I think I did a pretty good job. Somehow pushed out 3 in either November or December, but yeah, I'm just really excited. I'm really happy, and I can't wait to keep going. It's a new year and I'm locked in. But that's how Foam and Fortune 2 went. I hope you guys enjoyed this little recap video. I hope to see you guys for the next video. And to make sure you catch that video when it comes out, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notifications to be notified for when I make more content, because doing so does encourage me to make more content. Leave all your comments, questions, and suggestions in the comments below. All important links will be in the description, and I hope to see you guys next time.